Russian forces are on the verge of capturing the strategic Ukrainian city of Pokrovsk. A development analyst described as a significant symbolic victory for President Vladimir Putin. After a grueling 21-month campaign marked by fierce resistance, Ukrainian troops find themselves nearly encircled. Russia has reportedly massed 170,000 soldiers to intensify its offensive operations in the area. In response to the escalating military pressure, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on the European Union to finalize a 20-year package of sanctions aimed at crippling Moscow's ability to wage war. Concurrently, Russia has renewed its winter offensive by launching extensive missile and drone barrage against Ukraine's power infrastructure. These attacks have resulted in civilian casualties and damaged crucial substations that supply power to 2 nuclear plants. While the potential falls of Pokrovsk may not immediately shift the entire front line, its capture could have a profound impact on the morale of both nations in a conflict that has now raged for 1,355 days. The fighting in and around Pokrovsk has been characterized as intense house-to-house combat with significant losses on both sides. Ukrainian military sources have acknowledged that the situation is difficult but stable, denying Russian claims of a complete encirclement and stating that logistic routes, though challenged, remain open. Russian military briefings have consistently reported a series of new advances across multiple sectors in eastern and southern Ukraine. These reports include claims of capturing several settlements and conducting widespread missile and drone strikes on Ukrainian infrastructure and troop concentrations. The Russian Defense Ministry has also highlighted its successes in intercepting Ukrainian drones, HIMARS rockets, and destroying unmanned naval vessels in the Black Sea region. Moscow's official statements frequently mention repelled Ukrainian counterattacks and what they describe as significant Ukrainian casualties. These updates emerge amidst continuous and heavy fighting along contested front lines, with both sides indicating intense combat activity, particularly in the Donetsk and Zaporizhia regions. The battle for Kupyansk in the northeast has become another major flashpoint, with Russian forces asserting control over a substantial portion of the city. The Russian Defense Ministry has released combat footage allegedly showing their assault units advancing through industrial zones and fortified positions. Russian commanders on the ground have stated that their operations are focused on encircling remaining Ukrainian units and securing strategic locations. Furthermore, Russian forces claim to have encircled Ukrainian troops in the Donbas cities of Krasnoarmysk and Dmitri, with Denis Pushilin, the head of the Donetsk People's Republic, alleging that some Ukrainian soldiers are attempting to escape by disguising themselves as civilians. The air war between Russia and Ukraine has also seen a significant escalation. In one of the largest interception operations since the intensification of cross-border strikes this autumn, Russian air defense reportedly shot down 71 Ukrainian drones in a single night. The majority of these drones targeted the Bryansk region. Moscow has stated that its radar, electronic jamming, and missile defense systems worked in concert to successfully repel the large-scale attack. These overnight barrage underscored the deepening reliance on drone warfare by both sides as they intensify their air operations aimed at disrupting each other's energy infrastructure ahead of the winter month. These long-range strikes have become a hallmark of the conflict, with both Moscow and Kyiv targeting critical infrastructure in an attempt to degrade the other's war-fighting capabilities and impact civilian morale. The increasing sophistication and scale of these drone attacks represent a significant evolution in the tactical landscape of the war. Amidst the escalating military conflict, there have been notable diplomatic overture and continued rhetorical sparring. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has expressed his readiness to meet with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, even as Russia launched one of its most significant drone and missile attacks on Ukraine's energy grid. These strikes have caused widespread power outage in major cities like Kyiv and Kharkiv, affecting millions of people. Lavrov has reiterated that Moscow remains open to dialogue with Washington, but has stressed that any such talks must be based on the principle of reciprocity and respect for Russia's core national interest. The United States has yet to issue a formal response to Lavrov's latest offer for a meeting. In a separate set of remarks, Lavrov has lauded the performance of Russian weaponry, claiming that it outperformed Western systems in terms of reliability and effectiveness. Speaking at a forum in Moscow, he emphasized Russia's commitment to military technical cooperation with what he terms friendly nations, seeking to strengthen their sovereignty and independence from Western influence. Lavrov also made a point of recalling past instances of NATO collaboration, suggesting that Western allies faced challenges when they chose to reject Russian technology. His defiant claim that our weapons are better and the assertion that Russia's only true allies are its army and the navy underscore Moscow's increasingly assertive and self-reliant military doctrine. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitri Peskov, meanwhile, has publicly rejected U.S. claims that Russia's recent tests of the Burevestnik missile and Poseidon submarine were nuclear explosions. Peskov clarified that these advanced systems utilize nuclear propulsion rather than nuclear explosive mechanism, and that they have no equivalent anywhere else in the world. The statement came in the wake of heightened international tensions following remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump, who hinted at the possibility of resuming nuclear tests. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov noted that Moscow had not received any clarification from Washington regarding President Trump's comments. President Vladimir Putin has emphasized that Russia remains committed to its obligation under the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, but reserves the right to respond in kind if other nations conduct such tests, stressing that maintaining nuclear parity is central to global security. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. Do you believe Russia's capture of Pokrovsk will trigger a complete collapse of Ukraine's eastern defense? Or can Kyiv stabilize the front line with Western military aid? The strategic implications of this battle could determine whether Putin achieves his territorial objective before winter deepens. Consider the morale impact on both armies and how this affects NATO's long-term commitment to Ukraine. And why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.